Live.
Do you have a three,
It's the
two,
hair.
one thing?
No, we don't have a 3, 2, 1. We're live. Hey,
Okay,
morning.
wow,
Good morning,
we are
Vico.
live.
We are live on Facebook land. Good morning, everyone. I hope you have your caffeine hit or beverage of choice. Happy.
Me too.
Well,
It's all black for me today, but it's just water.
all good. You actually don't know what's in here. It's probably Bailey's for you know. Welcome to Virtual Coffee, everyone, and to the Growth Hub. I'm your host, Cheryl, and I have a special guest today, Vico Khang from Vocalize Online Consultants. Woo woo!
Whoa,
Excellent. Morning, Vico. How are you doing today?
very good, very good. Very good morning from Adelaide here, South Australia. We are half an hour behind, but hopefully we'll catch up to you guys soon.
Absolutely. Well, Vico, I'm really pumped to have you here because we work with a lot of property people, real estate, small businesses, and the thing that you've actually been helping some of our clients with their CRMs and automation and marketing. And this is like, Vico, you have such great content. I love to be able to get you on board. But the truth is, we're going to talk about some myths around marketing and really sort of bring to light what some people think work in terms of Facebook land,
Yeah,
and you share a little bit about, I guess, what has worked
yeah,
for your clients and what you have put together as well.
yeah,
So I know you spent some time putting a really informative guide together.
yeah,
So I'm really keen to see what that is. There's going to be heaps of value here, and I know that we've got a bit of a special towards the end as well.
yeah, yeah.
Excellent. And
So
so
yeah,
you got to stay around. Make sure you ask lots of questions. If you're in looking at marketing, if you're an agent, small business, whichever, and you're looking to really explode your presence on Facebook, have a listen to what Vico has to say. But Vico, maybe a short intro about who you are and what it is that you do.
hey, yeah. Thank you, Cheryl. It's been an honor for me to get accepted to actually have a quick chat and quick intro into this show. Been a
Likewise.
big fan in the past. So yeah, just a bit of a quick intro of what we do. We are a marketing agency based here in Australia, local in Adelaide, South Australia. But we work with not local, real estate agents and mortgage broker all across Australia, and we
Mm.
help them get automated appointment, conversation, business opportunity through our online system, right? By having a sales process in place, so they don't have to do door knocking, cold
Mm.
calling, and all of that stuff, right? That's not a fun thing to do. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, as Cheryl was mentioned, I do put together a slide, a presentation, or a show, however you want to call it. It's going to be debunking, breaking three beliefs that most agent and most broker out there is having right now. I'm not saying all of you, but most of you, because through speaking to a lot of agent and broker every day, every week, every month,
Mm.
we
Mm.
find that they do have a common disbelief and that I think this is something that everyone should know in general. Okay.
Well, first of
And
all, I mean, just Fico on that, because you mentioned like the whole door knocking and I don't know, letter drops and things like that. How have agents moved and obviously if you're doing that, that's fantastic. If it's working for you, keep doing that. But how has online advertising and social media changed the way that agents and brokers are doing business?
yeah, yeah. So first of all, I just want to put a big disclaimer out there. Door knocking is not all bad. It's literally good when you're first starting out and you don't have if you're a new agent in the area and you want to,
Mm.
meet people face to face. Second of all, some postcode in Australia just have a lot of older demographics, and face to face might be the best way to go, right?
Mm.
I'm not really against that. I'm just saying it is effective, but it's not efficient. I get this from the book, the
Mm.
the 4 Hour Work Week by Tim
Mm.
Ferriss.
Mm.
If you have read that,
I might have.
Yeah.
This was many, many years ago and I have
Oh
tabs
yeah.
all over it. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's not
Like-minded, right?
efficient. It's not efficient. I think the word there is, and the question is what I'm doing efficient.
Yeah. So he in the book he really break down the difference between effective and efficient. So door knocking is very effective because it's face to face. But how many doors can you knock in a day? And what happens when it's rain? What happens when it gets so hot in Brisbane, right? You know. So that's really come to play with online stuff because with online you're just only speaking to people who put their hand up. So
Yeah.
with the door knock you just blindly really hoping for someone is really interested in talking to you. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So, and I always have automation envy. I message you sometimes, Vico, because you have this, amazing YouTube page full of these tutorials about how to teach people to be more efficient with what they're doing, automating what they're doing, your sales process, your recruitment process. And I'm always like, Vico, I so have automation envy. And if that's like, I know that's such a nerdy business thing to say, but it really is about, we talked about in your group, like systems automation, and then you have a team
Yeah.
that helps you implement that.
Yeah.
It's like, wow,
Yeah.
huge. So let's talk about automation. Not so much automation, but like, let's dive into the 3 myths about marketing on Facebook for agents.
Yeah. So before we dive into that, like Cheryl was saying, if you stick to the end, there's gonna be some massive giveaway. So make sure you stick to the end. And
Awesome, awesome.
I do not want to be, showing a share screen and just talking and talking to myself. That's not fun. Make sure you drop some question Q&A. Interrupt me anytime. Drop in the comment, and Cheryl will read out the question, and I try to answer in
Absolutely.
between slides as best as I can. All right. You have the comment ready, Cheryl? Or?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm having a look at the comments on
yeah,
Facebook Live there. Any questions, whichever. I have some questions too. So,
yeah,
but please go ahead. It's over to you.
yeah. So, guys, if you find value in this, make sure you drop a like, drop a 7 or something. Make sure that we know, and because I've been staying up very late at night to actually make the slide. So appreciate any comment or like below. Make sure that it's really helped boost the Facebook AI for that as well.
Absolutely.
So, everyone can see my screen fine?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna use the Roman number, the 3 false beliefs that all agents and broker should know. Okay. So belief number 1, we're gonna get straight to it. Facebook ad will fix my business. So after talking to a lot of agents and broker out there, they always thinking, if I just invest in this thing, this thing, this shiny thing, this Facebook ad thing, this new tech thing, my business is gonna get like 1,000 customers tomorrow, right? So that's probably not the best way to actually think about Facebook ad or pretty much any kind of ad, right? That's probably right, not the right expectation. Okay, so the whole point to understand that belief, how we generate that belief in the first place, is to come back to the original model, right? So most businesses have gained their business from referral from day one, right? They make the one that haven't tried online marketing before, they make most of their business from referral. And the whole point here, I'm just trying to show you the difference between referral lead and online lead and how are they different. Okay, so with referral lead, they have an intended demand, right? So let's say Jenny here, she wants a haircut. What she do is she go and ask her friend, and her friend said, oh, I know a guy, and then they refer it to you. So the goal here is Jenny already want that haircut, right? And she just referred to she just talked to her friend or her family, and her friend and family said, this guy do a very good haircut. So that way, when people said, I ask people, what's your conversion rate? They say like 90 to 80%, right? And that based on the referral lead. So if you were to transfer your whole sales process to the online lead, you pretty much impossible to hit an 80 or 90% conversion rate, right? Because it's going to be different. So that is called intended demand. And the problem with that, like I mentioned, is only 3% of the market have intended demand at any given time, right? So therefore, the process alone, the referral process alone is not scalable, it's not reliable, and it's not consistent. And you can't really double down on it. Let's say you have a very good client named John, and John give you a referral every now and then. You can't say, John, I want to double down on that. I want you to give me 10 referral next month because it's working well for me. You can't really ask John to do that because John only has so much, people in his social circle. You know what I mean?
I guess, on that point in terms of that consistency, and I see where sort of example network marketing or referral programs, affiliate programs try to do that. But again, is it consistent is another thing.
Yeah, it is consistent if you have a full-on system in place like affiliate marketing. You have an incentive-based referral program, but there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be like a whole full-on system that you need to set up. And from my understanding, most agents and brokers don't have that sort of referral system. Pretty sure, right? To have that referral network going very well, you need a whole massive system at the back end to support that. Yeah, even with the network marketing and stuff.
Well, yeah, and again, comes down to, is that why, businesses like those referral business networks like BNI or Business Connect and all of those have come up and attempting to address these areas where generally referrals are inconsistent. They're high, like I said, high conversion, but you're not getting them every day.
Yeah, of course. I mean, always keep it open as your one channel of business, but never ever rely on it as your only channel of business. Right? You can't. Yeah. So that's why when COVID-19 hit, it's really wake everyone up on what they need to do and what they need to prioritize in their business. Because
Absolutely.
referral just dry very quickly because people are going to that mindset of being not having the income and all that stuff. So we want to make a big disclaimer here. There's nothing wrong with referral. We use it for our business also. And we believe referral are one of the easiest deal to close. I just want to make a disclaimer that I'm not saying anything bad about referral lead. I'm just saying you should not using it as the only way to strive, to survive, and especially not the only way to scale.
Again, and that's a really important point there. Like, you want to have different channels and multiple sources of income. Referrals are great. Like, you look at your marketing hub, how many different channels are you using to bring in your leads? Paid marketing and not paid marketing.
Yeah. And also organic as well, which is your daily posts and being out there, being present. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So here is that all right if I move this thing? It's keep blocking this.
I can't see what we're needing to move. I can see your screen fairly clearly. David says, good morning, guys, from Brisbane. This is what I'm looking to build a referral system for my new smoke alarm work. So stay tuned, David. Vico has heaps and heaps of value to share there.
Yeah.
Even, he may be talking about, I can't see what's blocking, sorry.
Can you see my screen still?
Yes.
All right, cool. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah, David, if you were looking to build a whole referral network, I would recommend that number one, you would have like a sufficient client base first. So at least have 100 or 200 first before you even start building that referral automation system. And number two, I would use software like First Promoter and all that stuff where they have commission payout every month on automation and all that stuff. But we can talk about that later in the comments.
Cool bananas. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah. So this is the difference between online lead and referral lead, right? This is created demand. So one is intended, one is created. Okay. So So created mean we pretty much create that demand. We targeting people in specific postcode, let's say here in Adelaide. We make them like, we have the right message, the right offer. We make them want to put their hand up. And if they do put their hand up, we filter them through a bunch of questionnaire. So if you are a buyer agent right now, we're going to ask them, you know, the way we filter people is by asking them, what's your household income? You know, are you married? Are you single? You know, what sort of area do you want to buy and what sort of purpose do you want to buy? You know, is it an investment, first home, or yada yada? Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
And for seller, you know, how soon you want to sell? What are you seeing of the value of your property right now? And are you currently working with any other agent?
So we're trying to say qualify them and really create a little bit of a story behind who these leads are.
Yeah, exactly. And by answering that, they pretty much qualify themselves, right? If someone really has no interest in selling their house, right, they would have a struggle answering that three questions that I mentioned, right? Yeah. And after that, that's going to be identified as our lead, right? So because it's a created demand, we have a massive opportunity on collecting this kind of people, right? So the difference between intended demand, like someone want to sell their house really quickly, they ask for their friend and their friend referred to you. But this one, you would grab anyone who have like that seed in their head of selling their house. Now you're grabbing them and build that relationship with them from now on. Okay, you be the first agent to speak to them while the seed is still planting in their head right now. Okay, right. And the upside to that is there's going to be massive more volume. It's not going to be 3% of the population anymore. And if you have the right content, the right targeting, you know, you just want and the right message. If you let people know that the house market is really hot right now, you actually plant a seed in their head right now and right then and there. Like if anyone didn't even think of selling their house, but they saw your message and you educate them properly, you probably plant that seed in them through that ad right then and there. You know, that's why it's created. It's not intended, right?
Okay, so you're because I look at marketing and I think people are problem aware or solution aware.
Yeah.
So say for example, in terms of creating demand, I guess that appeals to the problem aware type people who go, the market's really hot. Do they suffer from FOMO? You know, what happens when the market sort of, you know, will it go bust? You know, what will happen after all this? You know, we can't sustain 2-3% per month growth. What happens there?
Yeah, yeah. So some of the campaign or the marketing effort will hit some of the people that not even problem aware. Like I mentioned, they're not even thinking of selling their house. But if you have the right message, because like they have no idea that they want to sell their house, but you have the right message of them, it make them want to change that belief and that perspective. So if sometimes it hit people that it's not even problem aware, and it's your job as a sales agent, you know, as an agent, to walk them through to that sales process, make them, you know, to aware of the situation and aware of the new opportunity and aware of the new solution, you know, right?
That's a very awareness of the solution.
Yeah,
If they're
yeah,
aware of the problem, but they don't know what the solution is, this is where you, as the agent or the business service business, it's about delivering the solution.
yeah. And the best example of this, we have a one of our client or partner in New South Wales right now. He's talking to one of the prospects from our campaign, and they had no idea that, you know, they want to sell that house in the first place. They just they saw the ad, they said, okay, well, I just want to know what my house was, and he go out there to the prospect's house and quote, evaluate or appraise that house to be like 3 million. Like 3 million, and it was like shocking. Well, it's not surprising in Sydney that the house is 3 mil, but the owner was like shocking. I didn't realize because he bought it at 40,000 25 years back. So,
Yeah.
so now that he know that his house was 3 million, he actually wanna move to a area that he desire. Maybe that area is too crowded for him.
Mm.
You know what New South Wales is like, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the story that hopefully, if you're watching this, buyer agent or real estate agent, you can realize that if you are very good at what you do, right, as an agent and as a professional, it's pretty much your moral obligation to get in front of many people as possible and
Mm.
help them either buy their dream house or help them move to their perfect suburb.
Mm. I like that. I think that's for any business, right? You
Mm,
need to believe you are good at something, and actually for people to not see your talent and to see the solution that you have is actually I really like that. It's your moral obligation to get yourself out there and help people.
100%, 100%, right?
I
So
like that.
it's about helping them, changing their life, not sell them anything. If you help someone buy their perfect house, you're gonna change their life in a certain way. If you want help someone move to a better suburb that fit their lifestyle better, you can help them in some way, right?
Mm.
So, but here is the trap to that disbelief. All right, uh, business owner who grow their business since day one, based on word of mouth, try to close online lead. Sorry, try to close online lead for the first time using the same old sales process.
Mm.
So that's why it's not going to work. So referral lead put into a sales process, um, 80, 90% conversion, deal closed, right? And what they do is online lead come to the exact same sale process and it's not converting. Um, and they said,
Mm.
Facebook ad lead is rubbish. Facebook ad lead doesn't work, man.
So there's a missing piece in between that because it works, but is there a missing piece?
Yeah, it's the sales process. It's a sales process. The way you talk to the people that come online, it's gonna be different, and the manner you talk to them is gonna be different, right? With referral lead, you can wait 3 days to call them because they were expecting your call anyway. With online lead, if you wait 3 days, it's cold because
They're
those guys
gone.
are online and they talking to a lot of other agents, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's just the timing manner and the way you say stuff to them should be always like this. I wouldn't say it the script, but the way the manner, like the manner you would say it to them is different. And there should be a process on getting lead to an appointment to a face-to-face meeting, a face-to-face meeting to an to a contract sign and deal close, right? It's
Okay.
not with referral, you can just sit down with them in one go and just sign a contract right then and there. In this one, the process is longer and it
Yeah.
has to be more defined to a smaller piece.
And can I just add to that? Because there is the element of trust and credibility that you
Mm,
haven't built up with that second type of lead. Whereas with the referral lead, there's the element of trust and credibility because someone who has either used you or knows you, they're essentially giving you a testimonial to say they've helped me and it's been great. Like, and that's the question that most people have in their heads
yeah,
is and the term is what is the objection, is this person able or this business able to deliver the outcome that's going to help me?
yeah, yeah,
and and online leads might not, like, you need to be able to create that in your
yeah,
funnel.
yeah. And this, you're completely right. There's obviously the two big fat factor. Number one, they have intended demand, so they want it in the first place, right? And number two, they have that trust that was there. So that's why I'm talking to agent. They speak that, oh, I'm closing 80 or 90% of my referral lead, right? Because it's not that hard
Mm.
to close it. Um, but online lead, the trust is not there. They don't know who you are, right? You just saw them on Facebook, right? They're aware of you, but they don't know, like, and trust you yet. They're aware of you, right? And there's not trust there, and the demand is partially created, partially intended. So it's gonna be a different sales process. If you try to use it 9 out of 10 times, it won't work,
Mm.
right? And you'll be crossing your finger here. So the truth is, if you here's like the big truth. I'm gonna break the whole thing. If you know how to create a demand and put it through a sales process, so create a demand, put it through you and your company, and turn that to money, you're good for life. That's a money making machine. You know, when I was a little kid, my mom would tell me, you know, if you have that seed that grows a tree and the tree, you know, have money on top of that tree, that's pretty much the money tree that my mom was talking about.
Money trees. I like
But
that.
it, created demand is pretty much infinite. You know
So
what I mean?
how do we create the question? How do we create the demand, Vico?
Well, by having a you know, proven not Facebook, proven offer message in the first place, getting people to put their hand up, walk them through that, and filter them first, so you don't talk to anyone that put their hand up. Filter them first, and walk them through a process of turning, you know, lead to appointment, appointment to face-to-face appointment, and then to sell. But that's a whole other story. That's like sales process. Today, we just talk about marketing for now.
All right, marketing. Sales process is next session. Excellent. Love it.
And that's the biggest thing as well. Like business owners should know the difference between sales and marketing. They're two completely different things. If they think sales and marketing is the same, then you're probably not on the same page about the whole thing, right?
Yeah, they complement each other, but they are not necessarily the same thing, and they're different functions as well.
Yeah. So most of the bottleneck that we see is never a lead generation problem, because getting lead is really not that hard, right? You know, to be honest, like if you go on YouTube and say how to generate lead for my Facebook page, it's really like 10-hour, 100-hour worth of content you can just sit down and watch, right? You don't have to pay anyone too expensive to really generate lead. It's the pre-qualification process and the process of taking them from a stranger to doing business with you. That's really the hard part, right? It's a sales process, right? Cool. Any question in the comments for now? Want to take a bit of a...
Yeah. So my question is, I mean, we're talking about marketing. So are we going to address sort of the way that we can do organic and then paid marketing as well, and how to create that demand? What are some of the ways that we can do that? Because I see that you do a lot of just organic marketing, which is super powerful.
Yeah. It's organic marketing is the best way for any business to start when they first start, and when they first establish. It's organic mean different channel to me, right? So posting valuable content, having a lot of friends in your network, and just reach out to people and start that conversation, not just pitch on that first message, and post daily. And you gotta that's I think I didn't have that on my slide, but I think there's 3 or 4 different type of posts that you have to blend in with your daily post. So number 1, it have to be like, your result. You post your result. Number 2, you post like yourself, what you actually do. And number 3, you post a bit of a social thing. Make sure letting people know that you are a real human, you're a real person. So stuff like that, right?
Post your solutions, did you say?
Yeah, and also post your social life as well. Like post photo of your kid and your dog. Mix that with business.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah. I think that's a structure which I use anyway.
So we've got post your results. So if you've wins for your clients or wins for yourself, like be comfortable with like broadcasting it.
Yeah.
Right. Post about yourself, your values, your family, your life outside of work as well. Post your solutions, and what would you say would be the last one?
I think that's just 3. Your result, and post value for the market. Just value, just like tips, 3 tips or 5 tips on how to do stuff, and then post your stuff outside work. And you want to mix that 3 and plant it. Maybe plant it out. Switch through.
And just 3, like don't I see a lot of people getting really hung up about social media, and I personally as well. I've seen the ones where you're posting about something real, right? And I did a post over the weekend, and it was like about my little boy. He had a meltdown, and like how and but then also related it to like life, like business and life and the lessons from it. I didn't realize the impact that would have on people. But again, that wasn't asking about for business. It's more
Yeah.
so how people connect with you
Yeah.
and resonate with your message.
Yeah. So that would be, a cross between value and outside work sort of stuff, life
Mm,
outside work. And
mm.
when you post that, people, see that, it's a real person, because I see a mistake where some business page just posts business stuff, business stuff, business stuff, and it does get boring over time, you know. And
Yes.
and some of the business page, they have like logo in their, as their profile picture, and there is no human connection to that. Like, I look at the profile, it's just a logo, and they are just posting business stuff. I don't even know
Yes.
who behind this,
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because I said that to someone the other day, because he puts a business post up on one of my groups, and I say I actually want to. I almost have this itching need to scratch behind the name and your logo to find out who is behind it. Because if I can see you, I already feel an instant connection.
Yeah.
There's a person behind that, and it's so important, because when there's a person, there's a soul, there's someone with heart, right?
Yeah.
Not that the business doesn't have it, but at the end of the day, the business is you, right? It's you, your team, and you need to be able to show that.
Yeah.
And once you are able to, then this is the whole idea of personal brand, isn't it? Because Vico, you're your brand's face.
Yeah.
It's a good face. So this is the money maker. Look at that smile. But it is like we see a lot of business owners who are quite hesitant to put themselves out there, because they're like, I can't speak well. I don't, I got to put on makeup. But it really is like people don't really care
Yeah.
so much. They want to just connect with you.
Mm. And it's all come down to understanding that every business is a people business. I don't care if you do restaurant or you cut hair or you wash car. It's a people business, right?
Mm,
Either you're selling services, products, or doing anything. It's people business, right?
yeah,
Because money don't have value. It's just a piece of paper. People
yeah,
give money value, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. David's asked, what about posts about making comments about politicians, especially about what's happening in the government lately, sorry. I have to say that is always going to be a contentious one, right? If you talk about there are a few things in life that are always going to have a division, whether it's the government, whether it's vaccines, whether it's
Yeah.
there are a few topics there. But what do you think? What do you think, Vico?
Well, does that have anything to do with your business? I stay away from topic like that on
Yeah.
Facebook. So I actually use Facebook a lot, like mostly for business purposes. But the three things I stay away from is religious, politics, and drama.
So what was the first one?
Religious,
Really? Oh,
religion,
religion. Absolutely.
politics,
Politics, religion,
and
and
drama.
just general drama.
If someone said I break up with my boyfriend, I'll scroll past that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. So
Yeah.
now let's keep going.
So it's So yeah, I was gonna say, it's a sales process, and it's not, if we want to make that system work, it's normally not an overnight process. It require commitment, system, and automation, and it require innovation, right? But the reward at the end is once you actually get the whole thing going, turning great demand to money, you can have an infinite advantage over your competitor and a lifetime return of your investment, right? So it really, really is not something that you can dial in overnight, right?
Mm.
It does take time, and it does take a bit of trial and error. Okay, so we want to actually speed that up to belief number two, right? I think the number two and number 3 point is going to be quite a bit shorter, and then belief number one is seller campaign does not equal to more listing, right?
Oh, what do we mean by that? So seller campaigns are like, explain what seller campaigns are, Vico, please.
All right. So most agent that I speak to, they only want seller, right? I know most of your viewer right now is buyer agent, but real estate agent, they only care about seller. Like
Mm,
I only want to talk to seller, and I got plenty of buyer. If I get listing, buyer come to me,
mm,
all that stuff, right? So the first thing they want us to do is like launch a seller campaign. So it's like free appraisal, free home valuation, that sort of stuff. That's what I mean by seller campaign, right?
mm,
But it does not equal to more listing. Here, I'm going to explain it why, right? So you have to know who you're attracting, right? And play the long haul game, okay? People that come from seller campaign is very different from our buyer campaign. So what we normally do with our current partner is we have two campaigns going out. We have like one is the standard seller campaign with appraisal and all that stuff, and other one is buyer. And the way we get listing is we turning some of that buyer to a seller. So we ask them, do you have any house to sell in order to buy?
mm,
So
mm,
that, you know, if you're after listing an appraisal, getting an appraisal from a buyer campaign is so much more beneficial and so much more efficient. Because with the seller, if they coming to a campaign that looking for free appraisal, most of the time they really just want to know the value of their house, right? And they probably talking to 6 other agents out there. For
yes.
buyer, they want to buy, and they really not thinking of selling, but you can persuade them to actually sell their current house. That's when the listing and the appraisal come to play, and you have little competition out there because they not from the seller. You know what I mean? The seller campaign attract that kind of people, and the
Mm.
buyer campaign attract different kind of people.
Yeah, but I would have thought just naturally that if someone's looking to buy, they'd be looking to sell something, unless it's their first home or whichever, where they don't
Yeah,
have, they might be renting or first home buyers, or yeah, I think those would be the main ones, living at home with parents or renting, that they
yeah,
still then they're not having assets to sell.
yeah. Yeah, so it's really with our buyer campaign, it's a bit of mixed bag. Some of them is first home, some of them do need to
Mm,
sell. So,
mm, mm.
but I'm just saying, if the buyer who want to sell gonna be more warmer to your sales process than a seller from a seller campaign, right?
Absolutely.
Because of the nature of the campaign that was attracting that sort of people, like the message also. So the framework is, by knowing the long haul game is build that relationship. People just have to know, like, and trust you. And this is what I mentioned, 10 minutes ago, is that for people to know, like, and trust you, you have to break everything down to a smaller component, right?
Mm, mm.
Lead appointment, face-to-face appointment, appraisal, and sell.
Mm, mm. And this is where I'd like to say that the one thing, or the one little thing that COVID really made it possible for us to do more of, is these Zoom meetings, like these virtual meetings that we're having with people. Face to face is fantastic, and Zoom, whichever video conferencing platform, has been able to reduce the time that we're doing this, but make it more efficient as well.
Yeah,
And I've seen, like, I only have Zoom meetings with clients once I get to a point that I know that they're qualified,
mhm,
but we need to be able to create that
yeah,
relationship on a Zoom, talk like you're in a face-to-face meeting. Then, like I said, they create that like, and then move on. Very seldom have I closed a deal just on a phone call.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's the same thing for our partner. Some of the agents, get really used to do face-to-face thing. You know, but sometimes you have to adapt to the environment and move it to a Zoom,
Mm,
environment, right?
mm, mm,
So
mm.
that's why we tell them, like, to break it down. You have to understand, breaking stuff down to smaller and smaller components. That's going to help you define what the problem is, right? What's the
Okay.
problem is. So from lead perspective, you
Yep.
text and email them, and then you call them to book an appointment, and then you come and visit them in their house, right? And then after that, you really, most of the real estate agents, they are pretty much sales they know themselves. After, you know, you meet someone face to face, they pretty much good to take it from there, right?
So talk me through that bit here, text, email, and phone call. What does that typically look like for a sales agent and to do that well? So when your lead comes in, say for example, it comes in wherever that might come in, the lead comes in, right? What sort of what's contained in that text and email?
Yep, that's really depend. That's really depend on what, you know, what kind of lead, like what kind of lead are they coming from, like, and you know, buyer lead, seller lead, and it's really depends. The agent will make that text and email, but we also have our very own template. So the way that you, I mean, like the way that we was training our, sorry, not training, I have a weekly Q&A is some of the agent, again, they used to that referral lead, and every time they text or email the lead, they not having the right message. So I'll give you an example, right? Let's say an agent get the lead from Facebook and they call it immediately, but you know, somewhat, the lead don't pick up, and he would leave a text or voicemail like, "Hey, this is Andrew from ABC company. Just give me a call back when you can." And that's the sort of message that they leave out there. And because they get used to doing that, and during our session, I said, "Andrew, this is probably not the best way to follow up with online lead. You're gonna attack it from a different angle, right?" So the best way to do it is leaving a text and a voicemail or an email that is enticing to them by understanding their desired outcome. So let's say if you are a sales agent, right? Instead of say, "Hey, this is Andrew, give me a call back," you would say, "Hey, this is Andrew from ABC company. Just want, you know, we saw your application online, you know, from Facebook or whatnot. You know, the house market is really hot right now. In fact, I just sold this house in your area, you know, 40 or 50K above the asking price. Would love to do the same for you. When is a good time to chat?"
Yeah.
So instead of just like be boring and be plain about it, we just, you know, shove them in with that desired outcome, right? And when people read that or listen to that voicemail, and if they do have that small intention of they want to sell, they really want to speak to you right now, because
Yeah.
you know, they don't know that, you know, you just sell the house nearby in their area for 40 or 50 grand over the asking price, which is not, which is very unusual, by the way, in this current market at this time of recording.
Yeah, I'd like to add as well, like the power of FU, so follow up. One of a real gem that I got before was that don't take silence or no response necessarily as the person's not interested, and keep following up until you get through to them and they tell you no, no, thank you, or whichever that might be, because people just get busy. People have other priorities. People just don't get your call. And if there's no number, if people don't have, like, if it comes out as no caller ID, I just don't even pick it up. Right. So you need to look at the different ways that you're reaching out to people, until they come back and say, "Please remove me from your, you know, your list," or "No, thank you," and mix it up a bit. Like sometimes I send the best responses I get is when I send like a meme. Or a GIF, like you go, you know, I like if I haven't heard from someone, I'll send them a GIF and it'll be like, you know, you know, Forrest Gump going, "Hi," and again, 100%, I get a response.
I my favorite one is the ghost one. You know,
A
the gift
ghosting
they
one.
have, "I am
Yes.
a ghost."
Yes. Why are you ghosting me?
Yeah, I'm sort of mock them in a sense, but
Yes.
it's really coming down to, again, that sales process. Like most agents, if you said, "Hey, this is Andrew, give me a call back," that's boring, right? That's boring. And if they are busy, they're probably not going to call you back. But if you just switch the message up a bit to, you know, "I just helped someone nearby in your neighborhood sell the house 40, 50K above asking price," it's going to be a different message, right? And so that's what I mean by having an effective sales process, right? And also with the phone, once you text them properly or email them or voicemail them, you pick them on the phone, you want to go through a proper script, you know, a proper flow, that take them to the next step, which is want to see you face to face, right? So, I mean, like we can go hours of talking about this, but then this is about sales, right? And doing all of this is going to be knowing how to attack the lead from online perspective and not referral, right?
Yeah.
So here the truth is more listing come from more of our listing. Sorry for the misspell. More of our listing come from our buyer campaign, and those are buyers who actually want to sell in order to buy, right? So really know what kind of people you're attracting here. So belief number 3, I can't afford an effective and robust system like the bigger agency, right? They always think, oh, I'm a solo agent, like I'm just, a solo operation. How do I put such a system in place to automate my prospecting, my nurturing, myself? I don't know how to do that. And that's probably like one of the biggest disbeliefs that I see out there. It's so once they think of what the big guy are doing, they're thinking, should I be putting money in Facebook, LinkedIn, chatbot, Instagram? There's a lot of things out there, and this is gonna cost me X and X per year, X and X per month. I'm not sure, so just too much. I'm just gonna go back to door knock or whatever that is.
Yes.
Right? It scares them. It scares them from because they don't know. They thought like the big guy, like so. The solution is not to outbet the big guy, but to be the big fish in a small pond, right? Be the number one agent in your postcode, in your local area.
So this comes down to also niching, I guess.
Yeah.
Which, for example, you do in what, you create these automations and CRMs and things like that. Not that you couldn't do it for any other types of business.
Yeah.
But you've created a niche and a speciality with agents, mortgage brokers.
Yeah.
Similarly with us, we know property businesses really well as well. So, and why is that important in terms of niching and creating a small pond?
Well, it's like a lot of reasons. I can't really list them all, but really when you just focus on one thing, you're gonna get really, really good at that area in terms of getting result or your marketing or your sales, your message and your offer, because you're only just talking to one group of people. If you just have the same group of people in your pipeline, you know exactly what the desired pain point, what the desire is, what their pain point is, what to say to them, what trigger them, what make them want to chat with you, what make them repel from you. And also the same happen on your back end. If you have a client, a database, a client base of just the same group of people, you know exactly how to get them results. So that's the only way to scale, by having, less variable on the front end, less variable at the back end.
Absolutely. Then you can cater your service offering to that particular market.
Yeah, exactly. So by having niche down, pick your service that you want to, that you really profitable for you and you enjoy doing, and pick certain group of ideal client, and have the sales process down, lead appointment, face-to-face appointment, and sales, and have all of this stuff in place. This is what we do in particular. Sales campaign, the right targeting in place, and that all of that thing in place is not gonna be that much, because if you just thinking, is it LinkedIn, is it Facebook, is it Instagram? No, it's not about that. It's about having the sales process and having component of that sales process in place, right? So on the lead side, you have the right message, the right targeting, and having database campaign, which is marketing to your own existing client, and just have appointment automation, and just really go through a bunch of sales training that we have, and that's really gonna nail it down to specific, so you're not confused.
Yeah, I like the part. I think this is important again to add about appointment automation. Everything. This is the message that we had at the beginning. Is what you're doing efficient? Can it be done can you automate it in some sense? And probably for example, you and I who have used tools like Calendly or, Acuity or whichever, like a calendar
Yeah.
scheduler,
Yeah.
it seems very natural to do. But still, a lot of people are looking at their phones or calendars to schedule things. Like, look at ways, and there's so much software out there right now. But just in terms of just appointment automation, like it's easy for your clients as well. Send them a link, get them to book it in themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of, chasing up, because if they book it themselves, that's also qualify them as well. If someone motivated enough to actually book an appointment with you,
Mm.
and if they do book, the system will go out and remind them before the time comes, like an hour or 2 hours before, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also reminding them so there's a better show up rate
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well. I'm thinking that bottom bit is the sales process, which I'd love to have you on board to talk about in another session, Vico, because I'm sure there's a few other slides to sort of start to
Yeah.
bring this all together.
Yeah. I mean, because of the time limit on this session, we want to really stick with
Yeah,
marketing. But
yeah,
this third belief is really people are thinking, man, how do I invest 10 of thousand to actually match people like Ray White, LJ Hooker? You know, the answer is don't match them. Don't do it.
mm,
You can't outbet the big guy because they've been
mm,
in business for years and years before you, and
mm,
they have the power to actually smash you in
mm,
pieces if you go up with them. The whole point is be the big fish in a small pond and having the right system in place, right?
mm,
Be that strong fish and pick your pond.
mm.
So you're not fighting with other shark, okay?
Yeah,
And by being that big fish is having all of this stuff in place. And the screen is pretty much filled right now, but it's really not that much. It's just add appointment, appraisal, and sell, right? It
yeah,
might look a lot, but it's really not that much,
yeah.
especially when you automate some of them.
And I mean, there's nothing to stop someone who's still door knocking, but still be having this in the background.
Yep, yep. It
Like,
should be an extra system, extra channel on top of what you do.
absolutely. So agents out there, if you are doing the door knocking, and look at the different types of marketing you are doing, right? It's absolutely possible as a one-person show to begin with when you set up an automation, and when you get to the point of it's so busy,
Yeah.
if Vico can help you with the systems and everything else, when you get super busy, then that's where, you have a chat to the growth hub. And this is where it's a really great partnership, that we have here. I really love. But look at things that you can put in place.
Yeah. And if I were to outline that which part of this whole thing is automated, it's probably nearly everything. So this database campaign is automated. This ad is automated, with Facebook ad, most of the stuff is automated. Targeting, it's automated. This is automated. This is automated. The sales university, I mean, like, it's not, you have to sit down and watch it. And, the only thing that our partner really need to do is just come on to our weekly session and ask us any question that they have. So,
So you've got a group training as well.
yeah, just weekly Q&A. Want to make sure that everyone stay on track. But with our system, since most of the part is automated, there's going to be some manual work. That's what Cheryl is actually saying. That's when having a VA, having a virtual assistant or any assistant in place, gonna really help you. And the VA would come between this point
Mm,
and this point.
mm,
Just want to make sure that everyone stay on track. The dangerous part about automation is people are just trying to automate stuff. You
mm,
can't over automate your business. There's gonna be some human
mm.
touch. There's gonna be some human aspect that need to be involved, right? And if you want to scale, and you don't have enough time to do it, VA really come to play and come into here and here, and then you would position yourself between here, right?
Yep. Yeah. And then once you also then after the sale and it goes into the operations and fulfillment, again, that's where it's really handy to have a VA to help you go through that sort of contract administration type thing as
Oh,
well.
I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that, your VA actually help with the fulfillment. So if you were to extend this line
Yeah.
after the sale, there's going to be like fulfillment, retention, and all that stuff. That's when your VA actually come in as well.
I mean, that's exactly. So you look at that and you go, wow, I can do so much more with, just a few tweaks in my business to allow me to go from, a one person show to I can get more reach through automation and the systems in place. And then if I get a VA to help me in my business, again, I'm doing more of the being in my business and actually growing the business.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just delete all of my drawing right now, but here is the gist to it, right? It's a number game, right? The more conversation you have, the gonna be translate to the more appointment you have, and the more appointment you have, gonna be translate to the more deal you close. And your goal is to actually streamline and automate that process, right? And so you actually can focus on what you do best, right? Whether through automation, whether it's through system, or whether it's through VA, your goal is to actually want to automate as much as possible on the front end. Because number one, it can be automated and you should take advantage of that. And number two, it's if you're really good at what you do, you really want to spend less time on the front end.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so the truth is some of our appointment and deal come from our database reactivation campaign, offline marketing, which involves $0 ad spend. So it's really come back to the original belief where people are thinking it's expensive. I need $10,000 to beat people like, LJ Hooker and Ray White. Most of our appointments and deal come from a database reactivation campaign. I'm not sure if you know what that means, Cheryl. Like,
I have an idea, like it's almost, is it like retargeting?
So we can use that through our software where you upload your existing database and do an SMS broadcast to them, that message. So it's really has nothing to do with ad, and it's very effective because those people in that list already know you. So instead of just calling your list one by one, you broadcast everything through an SMS, and then
Yes,
the one who reply, you pick up the phone and you call them.
love it. Excellent. All right, Vico, we must be close to specials time.
Yeah. I think we do going a bit overboard. I think it's an hour now.
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah, I just gotta rush really through this. This is the mindset shift that people need to have. Online ad is just one piece of the puzzle, and the key is to focus on follow-up, nurturing, and conversion. Therefore, there's no such thing as high quality lead. A lead is just a lead. It's just someone who put their hand up to our offer, and it's our job to walk them through our sales process in order to convert them. Okay. So look, guys, if you're watching, this till the end, this is the special gift that we mentioned, right? We want to give you a free trial to our automation system, right? To our software, and with a complete setup. So
Oh my goodness.
appointment automation campaign, all that stuff campaign is going to be written out for you. And we want to give you a 30-day free trial.
Oh wow, that's a huge
On
offer.
that, right? So I'm going to practice what I preach. It's going to be very exclusive to only real estate agents and mortgage broker. That's who we serve. So only exclusive to that group of people because you're going to niche down, right?
Super special order. I'm just going to put this. I'm just putting a comment in the Facebook. Say automate. I'm so excited. I can't even speak properly. Complete setup. Real estate agents. Huge offer. I know how much this costs, by the way, and I have to say it's a huge value. It's not even just the cost, it's the fact that it's all the automations, the ads, the messaging, the templates, the training, the resource library. It's
Yeah.
because, so get onto it.
Yeah.
Mortgage brokers.
So to actually qualify for this free trial, let's what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a calendar link in the comment. So just book a call with me. I'm going to actually show you what you're actually getting for the whole setup, and we're going to see if it's a fit for you to continue to the trial, and then we actually go from there. That's how you actually get the trial. But also, if you want to trial, so you can let me know who you are. Drop a free trial in the comment below,
Okay, drop free trial.
and I
Okay,
will reach out.
comment free trial. And will you share your link in the comments as well?
Yep, yep. We'll share the link in the
Maybe
comment.
I should spell it correctly. Free trail. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Vico. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love seeing that. I get so excited again. I always have automation envy, systems envy. I'm a big fan of what Vico does. Again, you don't necessarily have to be a real estate agent or mortgage broker or anyone in the property space, like in terms of what the core lessons in this live, like a service business, you can take pieces of this that apply to you. However, this super free trial, again, huge amount of value there. If you are a real estate agent, if you are a mortgage broker, like David's already put his hand up, free trial, thank you. Like definitely jump onto it because it's with a full setup. You'll be absolutely blown away. It's one of my favorite setups. Where we've got a client that's been set up on this as well. I've seen how much work goes into it. So definitely jump on board. And Vico's going to pop in the calendar link in here.
Yep. Make sure you drop your comment, and I will reach
Free
out.
trial below. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me on Virtual Coffee, Vico. Absolute pleasure, and for all the golden sort of nuggets that you've put in there. I'd love to have you on board again. Let's talk about sales processes next time.
Would love
Um,
to.
ho- Hope you guys got your business caffeine hit. That's my smiley face. Oh, this is what happens. Oh, there we go. Happy face, and have a great rest of the day. Take care, Vico.
All right, Cheryl.
Ciao,
See
ciao.
you, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Cheers.